Good afternoon, everybody. Back with Dan-A-Plooza with returning guest, and actually the first guest of Dan-A-Plooza is actor, producer, and co-host of Into the Outer Realms, Joey Madia.
Hey, I didn't remember I was the first. That's cool. Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
You're welcome, Joey. So let's talk about how has the show been going, Into the Outer Realms?
It's good. We are, let me get this right. We're 5 episodes away from 100 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, so it'll be 2 years in January. We're going to have the Reverend Michael Carter, who's a big TV personality and very well known, has agreed to be our 100th, well, not our 100th guest. And it's good. And next year we're going to change it up. We're going to do less of this kind of interview format. And we're going to do more roundtables. We have a group called the Red Thread Collective, but I think Tanya and I are going to be on in January to talk about a lot of that. Yeah, so it's going great. Thank you.
That's right, everybody. We will have a paranormal special event with Joey and Tanya Madia. So we're looking forward to that, as well as other projects going on. I just have been busy, but we will find a date and time and we'll announce it. So
sounds good. I don't think we're going anywhere in January. So.
With the way the weather is, it's going to be like this in my backdrop, just snow.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good time to just cozy up and write and get ready for spring.
But I want to thank you for being very supportive of Dan-A-Plooza.
And likewise.
I don't know if you saw, but we're doing a lot of big stuff coming next year, and I actually got a new guest who's going to be on Monday, and he's part of a Disney cover band.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Now I watch it, whenever I can, and the amazing array of people that you've landed is terrific.
Oh, it's well. What I finally decided what Dan-A-Plooza meant was I found a quote for it the other day, and it says, "Connecting with talented individuals within this creative world." So that's what.
Nice.
So that's
very good. So you've been doing it for how long now? About a year?
May.
Okay. Wow. And you've had, you do 3 guests a day, and you do it almost every week. So, wow.
Well, I'm actually, when I do the guest on Monday, he'll be 50. So you have 100, I'll be at 50.
Nice. But in less than a year. So yeah, we're doing 2 year. We started about 4 months before the pandemic, and with everybody home April, May, it was a great opportunity to build audience out of the gate. Not that the pandemic has in any way been positive, but I think creative artists like yourself have learned that this is a nice medium, and you can be anywhere and talk to anyone in the world. And so that's been great.
Yep. Can you please tell people, for those watching, about your new book?
Oh, yeah. So the latest book, I'm really excited. I wish I had more time to edit it every day, but it's going to be called Sherlock Holmes and the Mystery of M. So it's actually told by a narrator who's a journalist in the late 1800s in England, which is one of my favorite times. I love the Victorian and the Edwardian eras. So it's a sequel to a book called 3 Gothic Doctors and Their Sons.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a mashup of Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde, and Dr. Moreau. And it started as a musical in West Virginia when we had our theater company there. And I wrote it especially because we were the house theater company for the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Or the Weston Hospital. You never know what you're supposed to be calling it. But yeah, and it's going to have again, COVID. It was supposed to have a big production in Los Angeles, the musical, last year. It got pushed twice, and now it's sort of open-ended, hopefully for 2022. But yeah, so Sherlock Holmes and the Mystery of M. I have loved Sherlock Holmes forever. And I was like, it would be great to do a Sherlock Holmes because the journalist in Three Gothic Doctors, he and Watson were in the English army together during the Afghan wars. So they've known each other. So I was like, okay, well, what if someone other than Holmes and Watson was part of their cases and told the story, and Holmes was meaner than Watson makes him out to be. Watson is smarter than Holmes lets him look like he's going to be. And then Dan, I sat down to write it 3 years ago, and I went, what am I doing? I can't write Sherlock Holmes. This is I'm not qualified. So that's why I took Three Gothic Doctors, and I took the musical and I turned it into a novel, and I spent the next 2.5 years just researching, reading all the Sherlock Holmes, reading articles on how they're broken down, how the scenes unfold beat by beat. And I think it's going to be pretty good. I think people are going to like it. It's also a Dracula prequel. So, yeah.
So needless to say, when you were compiling it all together, it was not elementary, my dear friend Joey.
No. And you know what? Elementary, my friend Watson, does not appear like Arthur Conan Doyle didn't write that line. Which is really interesting because it's the most famous one. It's the most famous one ever. No, I mean, I have a thick notebook, and I wanted to reference lots and lots of their cases in the course of the story. So it was, and then I watched every movie, every TDV adaptation, just to look for nuances and what exactly does Baker Street look like, and so yeah, so that's going to come out. That'll be out by the end of January.
Where will people be able to purchase this?
On Amazon. All my books. This will be my 10th. No, 9th, excuse me. This will be my 9th. And they're all on Amazon. Paperback, 6x9 paperback, which I really like. It's a good size. And also Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. So you have your choice.
All right. So we'll make sure to share that in the Dan-A-Plooza page.
Thank you, sir.
That's a good way to start the year off with a new book.
I think so. Yeah. And I'm excited about this one. It's scary to do something like Sherlock Holmes, but I think it's a good piece. So maybe I'll get some new readers, people who read anything Sherlock Holmes, so.
So now segueing to a different topic, we are in the holiday spirit. As you can see, we have the Christmas backdrop, as well as the National Lampoon's hoodie.
I love it. That's cool.
What do you like most about Christmas?
Oh boy, the movies. Well, two things. I love the movies. So on my YouTube page, which is Joey Madia, Every Day is a Story All Its Own, I have my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. We ran through them really quickly this year, but I love a really good Christmas movie, and the lights. I love the lights. So you can see a little bit back behind me. Every room has lights in it. Last year, my tree stayed up until I think April. Because there's just something about the lights that's comforting. So that's what it is. So it's Christmas lights and Christmas movies. Those are my two favorite things.
Do you have a couple of Christmas, like the villains? Do you like? Do you prefer more of the villains?
Oh, that's a great question. So my favorite Christmas movie when I was a kid is an Italian movie. It's a Rossano Brazzi movie, and it's called The Christmas That Almost Wasn't. And for years, I couldn't see it. Tanya couldn't see it, and it's streaming now. I forget the platform. We had to dig for it. But he is my favorite villain, with his Italian accent and his facial expressions. And let me see, who else? Well, I love the Grinch, especially when Jim Carrey does him. Christmas villains, I don't know. Most of the movies I like, there's some major problem that has to be solved. So I don't know. Like, could you call Myron in Jingle All the Way a villain? I don't know. Or Danny DeVito in Deck the Halls. Is he a villain? I don't know. So they're more a catalyst, for the protagonist to have their journey. And
Did you hear that Jim Carrey had to go to special training to do the Grinch role?
Oh, I didn't know that. Special training for
doing the role. He had to basically, he was very kind of entrapped and suffocated in that suit.
Yeah.
So he worked with somebody who deals like with it, and you're in a crisis situation. So they would say, if you feel like doing stuff you like, have a cigarette, punch yourself in the leg, So then he's all like he's like, it's for the kids, it's for who?
Oh, wow. I didn't know. I was
send you that interview.
I was working on a project. Bob Tennell, the filmmaker, had hooked me up with a guy who was doing a project, and I was going to play a really old man. So they did one of those full face prosthetics, and this guy had done them for not for Jim Carrey, but for he did Dustin Hoffman's for Tootsie.
Okay.
And did a couple of other famous people. And he said, wow, you're like so zen with it. It's really kind of weird. And I do a lot of meditation. I'd been a meditator, and I just kind of went inside and relaxed. But at one point they were trying to take it off my face, and they about pulled my ears off, and they moved it, and it blocked my nasal passages.
Oh no.
So I couldn't breathe. It's it's a trick to be under all that latex. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to watch that interview. He talks about how he coped through it.
Cool. I'm gonna find that.
Some of mine, Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Christmas Story. I'm trying to think. I love A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I always love Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yes. We've watched all of those so far this year. Keep going.
Which is actually interesting because I might have a guest from the Peanuts on here in January. So.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That's cool. Yeah, Tanya and I have realized that we are Linus and Sally. We are Linus and Sally. There is, there's a sequel to the Christmas one that they did, years later, different voices and all. But it starts with Linus and Sally pushing a box up on the top of a hill, and it's very us. So, A Nightmare Before Christmas. Do you watch that at Halloween and at Christmas, or just at Christmas?
Both. Actually, watch it all year round.
I know. I love it.
Because I enjoy Ken Page as Oogie Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in Cats. I don't know if you've ever seen. So
yeah.
And he talks about doing a study with cats so he could prepare for the role.
Cats is one of my favorite musicals. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you meet Chris Sarandon?
Yes, I did.
I thought so. I remember the picture, and he, of course, is the speaking voice of Jack. Although it doesn't sound like, I don't know if he and Danny Elfman got together and sort of met halfway on voices. But you would never know it was him, right?
Right. It's kind of hard because when I watched The Princess Bride, and he played, Humperdinck, I go, that's not Jack.
Not at all. Humperdinck is a butthole.
But I known him from that, and then from Fright Night.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love Fright Night and the sequel.
Oh, you should check out Horror Realm. They're bringing like 3 people from Fright Night.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Williams Ragsdale, Stephen Joffreys, and somebody else.
That's cool. As much as I like the sequel, because I'm a huge Colin Farrell fan, and we all miss Anton Yelchin very much. But right. There's something about the first one, especially his buddy. When he becomes a vampire, he's so over the top. It's hysterical. and Roddy McDowall, who I love. Yeah.
And Amanda Bierce.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Well, we went from Christmas to Halloween.
That happens when you have movies, you know. So anyway.
Yeah. What's your all-time? Do you have an all-time favorite Christmas movie?
It was interesting because we had a discussion last night in another group setting, and like I was like Christmas Story, and someone went, "I hate that movie." I go, just looked at it.
It is a polarizing movie, but we watch it every year. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm a big and his name has escaped me, Davin McLeod, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of his, and he's just terrific in that. He reminds me of a lot of dads. Yeah.
There's actually a musical version I know of A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
And they talk about how the dad's more fascinated with the lamp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, as part of yeah. Oh boy, Fragile.
That lamp, it always is the culprit.
Tanya and I got to get a special sort of like VIP sort of situation to go to the house in Cleveland.
I've heard of that house, yeah.
If you get an opportunity to do it, it is really cool. And then when you're done with the house, which is really neat, you go into this massive gift shop.
Oh,
and
wow.
they have put Christmas Story on everything. It reminds me of Mel Brooks in Spaceballs, right? Yeah. Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
They love it.
The only thing they didn't have was a flamethrower.
Not with a bow on it.
No, but that place was amazing. And then the Bumpkus's house is right next to it.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't think you can go into the Bumpkus's house, but they do have the garage open and it has his car, you know, that gets the flat tire. So
I always liked when Randy would hide in the little cupboard, you know. He would be like, "Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie." No, he's not. Yes, he is. On the same cupboard.
Yeah. So many great lines.
So sometimes as a kid, I would repeat that line. I go sit in the cupboard and I pull a little. People got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
So what are the plans for 2022?
Oh, wow. It's exciting. So hopefully everything's going to open up again. And I'm growing this big beard because I'm portraying Allen Ginsberg, the beat poet. I'll be in Oklahoma for 3 weeks doing that. In August, I'll be doing my pirate Samuel Bellamy out in California. Let's see, what else is in 2022? I've been commissioned to write a new play about the Mothman. So I'm writing that right now. The Mothman Escape Room at the Mothman Museum will be opening up in 2022. So it'll definitely be the year of Mothman. And then I'm working on another nonfiction book about the paranormal by myself this time. Tanya and I have written 2 together. And the 4th Cannon and the Quill book is going to come out.
Awesome.
So I think it's going to be an amazing year. And there might be a stage production of the Sherlock Holmes book. I mentioned to someone I was writing it, and they specialize in Sherlock Holmes plays, and they said, send us a copy of the book and put an outline for a play in it. So yeah, it could be a really big year, and spend a lot of time in West Virginia, which I miss.
Yep, and then Dan-A-Plooza, you got that too.
That's right. Yes, in January to kick everything off. So yeah, Sushi, give us a date. We'll get ready for that. We'll talk about the paranormal.
So, well, I'd like to thank you for being my guest at this time. Is there anything else you'd like to say or promote before we go?
No need. You can find the books on Amazon. You can find me, just Joey Madia, Joey Madia on all of the social media platforms, Twitter and Instagram. I'm trying to figure out TikTok, Dan, but it just doesn't seem to be for me.
My TikTok working.
Yeah. I'm too nervous to post that first thing. I just can't come up with the right thing. But thank you for having me on. Continued success. Happy holidays.
All right. Well, our last guest will be artist Dan Noakes will be on here, and he'll be talking about all his sketches and artwork. So we will see him next. Everyone, have a good day.